Thank you for joining us today. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but in London it has been nothing but wet and miserable, and then more wet and more miserable. So hopefully we're going to brighten a few grey afternoons today. Hello, nice to see you all. I am Lizzie, Artistic Director of Shake-Scene Shakespeare, and we have some lovely people ready to do 6 wonderful scenes for you this afternoon. So we're just going to go around and say a quick hi to everyone that we've got on today, because we've got Siegffreid, who is not in fact at the Globe, but has set himself up with a wonderful backdrop today. Siegffried's still with us from Paris. And we've got Larissa looking very chirpy this morning, and Geoffrey, who's ready to give us a bit of, give us some more of his Richard Duke, Earl of Gloucester. We've got Ashley, who's also, looking all bright-eyed and ready to go. Abey, lovely to see you back, Abey from Cream-Faced Loons. What was it you were doing yesterday? Was it Comedy of Errors? I've lost track.
Yes, we're doing Comedy of Errors. So we did part 1 last night. We're doing part 2 tonight.
So you're really busy. Thanks for fitting us in. We're not doing Comedy of Errors though, so keep it together.
I'll try not to get too confused.
But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. And we've got Simon. Lovely to see you, looking very formal and official. And Linda, it was Linda's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Linda. Lovely to have you with us today, looking very elegant. And we've got Mark, who's ready to go down there in Devon, and Fergus, who is also ready to join us there, still up in London. So we have a nice we're across the country and we are international today, which is always a good feeling. It's lovely when that happens. Oh, I'm going to say a quick hi to Valentina, who's holding us together technically, as ever. Very much appreciated by all of us. Okay, so you guys go take yourself off and do some nice deep breathing. I will be calling you for your scenes. So this afternoon, as I said, we are going to be doing 6 scenes. We're starting with, I give myself the challenge every week of finding a scene that I can get everybody into. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we're going to start with a little scene from Richard III in just a moment. Before I get into that, those of you watching us on YouTube, our donations link is still up there and live. It will be paying directly to us. And any money that you are able to give us or feel you've got moderately available, it would be very gratefully received. We keep it in a kind of a bucket and we share it out among members of the company who are still experiencing significant financial hardship in these challenging and interesting times. And a proportion of our bucket also goes to the Stephen Lawrence Foundation, which is a cause that's very important to us. So if you are able to, it is very gratefully received. If you're not able to, then that doesn't matter a bit. We are delighted to be here and to be able to provide you with some gentle entertainment on a wet afternoon. So I'm going to stop talking and bring in the first scene. So we are going to Richard III. Always good to start with something a little bit strong. And we are going to quite an early scene in the play, where good King Edward is not feeling terribly well, but it is most important for him that he bring together people in his court who have had fallings out and differences of opinion. So it's very important that he has called together the court to have this great scene of love and reconciliation, into which comes his brother Richard. So let's see how that goes. All right, so this has got all of you in at some point or another. And if any lines end up being missing, you'll be hearing me. So, are we all ready?
Ready.
Ready?
Yep. Hi.
All right. So, as ever, if anything happens, if anything goes wrong, if anybody's internet dies or anything, do not panic. That is what I am here for. So, audience, you won't see me, but if by any chance you hear me, it just means I'm covering for a little technical hiccup. And everything else will, of course, go beautifully smoothly. All right, guys, so if you're ready, the minute I go, the virtual stage becomes yours. Take us to the court of King Edward. Off you
go. Why so? Now I have done a good day's work. You peers, continue this united league. I every day Expect an embassage from my Redeemer to redeem me hence, and more to peace my soul than shall part to heaven, since I have made my friends at peace on earth. Hastings and Rivers, take each other's hand. Dissemble not your hatred, swear your love.
By heaven, my soul is purged from grudging hate, and with my hand I seal my true heart's love.
So thrive I, as I truly swear the like.
Take heed you dally not before your king, lest he that is the supreme King of kings confound your hidden falsehood and award either of you to be the other's end.
So prosper I, as I swear perfect love.
And I, as I love Hastings with my heart.
Madam, yourself is not exempt from this, nor you, son Dorset, Buckingham, nor you. You have benefactress one against the other. Wife, love Lord Hastings, let him kiss your hand, and what you do, do it unfeignedly.
There, Hastings, I will never more remember our former hatred, so thrive I and mine.
Dorset, embrace him. Hastings, love Lord Marquis.
This interchange of love, I here protest upon my part, shall be inviolable.
And so swear I.
Now, princely Buckingham, seal you this league with thy embracements to my wives' allies, and make me happy in your unity.
Whenever Buckingham doth turn his hate upon your grace, but with all duteous love doth cherish you and yours, God punish me with hate in those where I expect most love, when I have most need to employ a friend, and most assured that he is a friend, deep, hollow, treacherous, and full of guile, be he unto me, that I do beg of heaven, when I am cold in love to you and yours.
A pleasing cordial. Princely Buckingham, is this thy vow unto my sickly heart? There wanteth now our brother Gloucester here to make the blessed period of this peace.
And in good time, here comes Sir Richard Radcliffe and the Duke.
Good morrow to my sovereign king and queen, and princely peers, a happy time of day.
Happy indeed, as we have spent the day. Gloucester, we have done deeds of charity, made peace of enmity, fair love of hate, between these swelling wrong insensate peers.
A blessed labour, my most sovereign lord. Among this princely heap, if any here by false intelligence or wrong surmise hold me a foe, if I unwillingly or in my rage have aught committed that is borne hardly, if any in this presence I desire to reconcile me to his friendly peace, 'tis death to me to be at enmity. I hate it and desire all good men's love. First, madam, I entreat true peace of you, which I will purchase with my duteous service. Of you, my noble cousin Buckingham, if ever any grudge were lodged between us, of you and you, Lord Rivers and Ratcliffe, that all without desert have frowned on me, of you, Lord Woodville and Lord Sales of you, dukes, earls, lords, gentlemen, indeed of all, I do not know that Englishman alive today with whom my soul is any jot at odds, more than the infant that is born tonight. I thank my God for my humility.
A holy day shall this be kept hereafter. I would to God all strifes were well compounded. My sovereign lord, I do beseech your highness to take our brother Clarence to your grace.
Why, madam, have I offered love for this, to be so flouted in your royal presence? Who knows not that the gentle duke is dead? You do him injury to scorn him, his cause.
Who knows not he is dead? Who knows he is?
All-seeing heaven, what a world is this?
Look, I so pale, Lord Dorset, as the rest.
Ay, my good lord, no man in presence but his red colour has forsook his cheek.
Is Clarence dead? The order was reversed.
But he, poor man, by your first order died, and that a winged Mercury did bear. Some tardy cripple bear the countermand. It came too lag to see him buried. God grant that some less noble and less loyal, nearer in bloody thoughts but not in blood, deserve not worse than wretched Clarence did, and yet go current from suspicion.
A boon, my sovereign, for my service done.
I prithee peace. My soul is full of sorrow.
I will not rise unless your highness hear me.
Then say at once, what is it thou requests?
The forfeit, sovereign, of my servant's life, who slew today a riotous gentleman lately attendant on the Duke of Norfolk.
Have I a tongue to doom my brother's death? And shall that tongue give pardon to a slave? My brother killed no man. His fault was thought, and yet his punishment was bitter death. Who sued to me for him? Who, in my wrath, kneeled at my feet and bid me be advised? Who spoke of brotherhood? Who spoke of love? Who told me how the poor soul did forsake the mighty Warwick and did fight for me? Who told me in the field at Tewkesbury when Oxford had me down? He rescued me and said, dear brother, live and be a king. Who told me when we both lay in the field, frozen almost to death, how he did lap me even in his garments, did give himself, all thin and naked, to the humble cold night. All this from my remembrance. Brutish wrath, sinfully plucked, and not a man of you had so much grace to put it in my mind. But when your carters or your waiting vassals have done a drunken slaughter and defaced the precious image of our dear Redeemer, you straight are on your knees for pardon. Pardon. And I, justly too, must grant it to you. But for my brother, not a man would speak, nor I, ungracious, speak unto myself for him, poor soul. The proudest of you all have been beholding to him in his life, yet none of you would once beg for his life. Oh God, I fear thy justice will take hold on me and you and mine and yours for this. Come, Hastings, help me to my closet. Ah, poor Clarence.
This is the fruit of rashness. Marked you not how that the guilty kindred of the Queen looked pale when they did hear of Clarence' death. Ha! But they did urge it still unto the King. God will revenge it. Come, lords, will you go to comfort Edward with our company?
We wait upon your grace.
And off they go. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Wow. That is such an interesting scene. Everybody's making friends. Are they really making friends? Oh, wow. And everybody's alive at that point, which is a great thing in Richard III. Spoiler alert. Quite a lot of people don't make it to the end of the play. So there they are, all making friends. If only the play could end there. Not how it works, however. So we are now going to move on from Richard III to Troilus and Cressida. So small memories of our Trojan marathon from a few weeks ago. We have pulled out one scene. This is the Paris and Helen scene. This is the one time in the play that we get to meet the famous Helen of Troy, and the one and only time that we actually get to speak with her and see her, and we get one lovely scene, and she seems to be having a great time in Troy, which is great, but it makes life complicated for poor old Pandarus, and a little bit complicated for Paris, her new husband, and various other people that have to work for and around her. So it's always interesting. We just see her the once. I always feel it's a little bit of a shame. You know, I feel like maybe William Shakespeare, maybe he's working on a second draft somewhere now, because I think there's a strong play in there somewhere that he would have written or could have written. So have we got a Paris? I see Paris is ready.
Yes.
Yep. And a Helen?
Yes.
Good. This is always my terrifying moment of like, what if we haven't got someone? Pandarus, are you ready to roll?
Yes.
There you are. And we have a servant? We still have a cheeky
Yes.
servant. Yes, excellent. Wonderful, brilliant, lovely. Right. So, usual rules apply. Let us go into the palace of Lord Priam, deep in the city of Troy, and see what's going on there today. See you on the other side. Enjoy.
Friend, you, pray your word. Do not you follow the young Lord Paris?
I said when he goes before me.
You depend upon him, I mean.
Sir, I do depend upon the Lord.
You depend upon a noble gentleman. I must needs praise him.
Praise the Lord be praised.
You know me, do you not?
Face superficial.
Friend, know me better. I am the Lord Pandarus.
I hope I shall know your honour better.
I do desire it.
You are in the state of grace.
Grace? Not so, friend. Honor and lordship are my titles. What music is this?
I do partly know, sir. It is music in parts.
You know the musicians?
Wholly, sir.
Who play they to?
Well, to the hearers, sir.
At whose pleasure, friend?
At mine, and they who love music.
Command, I mean, friend.
Who shall I command, sir?
Friend, we understand not one another. I am too curtly, and thou art too cunning. At whose request do these men play?
Thou's to it indeed, sir. Marry, sir, at the request of Paris, my lord. He's there in person. With him, the mortal Venus, the heart blood of beauty, love's invisible soul. Love's invisible soul.
Who, my cousin Cressida?
No, sir. Helen, could you not find that out by her attributes?
It should seem, fellow, that thou hast not seen the Lady Cressida. I come to speak with Paris from the Prince Troilus. I will make a complimental assault upon him for my business. See this.
Sodden business. There's a stewed phrase indeed.
Fair be to you, my lord, and to all this fair company. Fair desires, all in fair measure, fairly guide them, especially to you, fair queen. Fair thoughts to be your fair pillow.
Oh, dear Lord, you are full of fair words.
You speak for your fair pleasure, sweet queen. Fair prince, here is your good broken music.
You have broke it, cousin, and by my life you shall make it whole again. You shall piece it out with a piece of your performance. Nell, he is full of harmony.
Truly, lady, now.
Oh, sir.
Rude in sooth, in good thews. Very rude.
Well said, my lord. Well, you say so in fits.
I have business to my lord, dear queen. My lord, will you vouchsafe me a word?
Nay, this shall not hedge us out. We'll hear you sing, certainly.
Well, sweet queen, you are
What
pleasant.
exploits in...
You are pleasant with me. But marry thus, my lord, my dear lord and most esteemed friend, your brother Troilus.
My lord Pandarus, honey, sweet lord.
Go to, sweet queen, go to go. Command himself most affectionately to you.
You shall not bob us out of our melody. If you do, our melancholy upon your head.
Sweet queen, sweet
What
queen.
exploits in...
Sweet queen,
What
faith.
exploits...
And to make a sweet lady sad is a sour offence.
Nay, that shall not serve your turn. That shall not, in truth, lay. Nay, I cannot for such words. No, no. And my lord, he desires you that if the king call for him at supper, you will make his excuse.
My lord Pandarus.
What say, my sweet queen?
What
My very sweet queen.
What exploits in hand? Where sups he tonight?
Oh, nay, but my lord.
What say, my sweet queen? My cousin will fall out with you. You must not know where he sups.
I'll lay my life with my disposer Cressida.
No, such matter. You are wide. Come, your disposer is sick.
Well, I'll make excuse.
Aye, good, my lord. Why should you say Cressida? No, your poor disposer's sick.
I spy.
You spy? What do you spy? Come, give an instrument. Now, sweet queen.
Why, this is kindly done.
My niece is horribly in love with a thing you have, sweet queen.
She shall have it, my lord, if it be not my lord Paris.
He? No, she'll none of him. They are to our twain.
Falling in after falling out may make them three.
Come. I'll hear no more of this. I'll sing you a song now.
Aye, prithee now, by my troth, sweet lord, thou hast a fine forehead.
Aye, you may.
Let thy song be love. This love will undo us all. Oh, Cupid,
Love.
Cupid.
Aye, that is it shall, our faith.
Aye, good now. Love, nothing but love.
In good troth, it begins so. Love, love nothing but love still more. For oh, love's bow shoots buck and doe, the shaft confounds, not that it wounds, but tickles till the sore. These lovers cry ho, ho, they die, yet that which seems the wound to kill doth turn ho, ho to ha, ha, he, so dying love lives still. Ho, ho, a world but ha, ho, ho, groans out for ha, ha, ha. Hey ho.
In love, I faith, to the very tip of the nose.
He eats nothing but doves, love, and that breeds hot blood, and hot blood begets hot thoughts, and hot thoughts beget hot deeds, and hot deeds is love.
Is this the generation of love? Hot blood, hot thought, and hot deeds? Why, they are vipers. Is love a generation of vipers? Sweet Lord, who's afield today?
Hector, Deiphobus, Helenus, Antenor, and all the gallantry of Troy. I would fain have armed today, but my Nell would not have it so. How chance my brother Troilus went not?
He hangs the lip at something. You know all, Lord Pandarus?
No, not I, sweet queen. I long to hear how they sped today. You'll remember your brother's excuse?
To a hair.
Farewell, sweet queen.
Commend me to your niece.
I will, sweet queen.
Trojan retreat is sounded.
There come from field, led us to Priam's hall, to greet the warriors. Sweet Helen, I must woo you, to help and arm our Hector, his stubborn buckles. With these your white enchanting fingers touched, shall more obey than to the edge of steel, or force of Greekish sinews. You shall do more than all the island kings. Disarm great Hector.
'Twill make us proud to be his servant. Paris, yea, what he shall receive of us in duty gives us more calm and beauty than we have, yea, overshines ourself.
Sweet, above thought, I love thee.
And off they go. Thank you very much, guys. Lovely song, Siegfried. Thank you very much for doing that. All right. Did you notice the repeated cue moment in that particular scene? It's one of those things, if you haven't watched us before, because we work from just cues and lines, we don't see a whole scene, we don't see a whole play, and we don't rehearse together other than necessary physical business before we actually perform for you, according to the rules as understood of the way that preparation was done in the Renaissance. So we get these repeated cue moments. So there's poor old Paris desperately trying to get their line out and getting the cue repeated. Now, there's a lot of talk about this. Is it deliberate? Yes, it is, because they're there, and Shakespeare knew what the actors were going to see. So you sometimes get this. It's not always a mistake. If Paris is receiving Sweet Queen, which I think Pandarus says something like 15 times in that scene, he's going to get repeatedly cued. So there's a little bit of life for all of us to learn about. Okay, now we're going to move straight on to Julius Caesar. Let's go to a nice hot day in Rome and forget about a grey and miserable afternoon in wherever we are today. So we are going to the early part of Julius Caesar, and Brutus and Cassius had just been having a bit of a chat while everybody else was at the Lupercal Games, watching the races being run. And while they were chatting, they heard some noise from the crowds that were watching the races, and they would like to know what happened. So they've plucked good old Casca by the cloak as he passed by, as Caesar and his party left them, to sort of say, what was going on? So let's see if Casca, Brutus, and Cassius, are you all ready to tell us what's been going on at the Lupercal?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So as ever, when I vanish, please take us to a lovely, hot, sunny day in Rome. See you there.
You pull me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what a chance today that Caesar looked so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They
Was
shouted
the crown
thrice.
offered him thrice?
What was the last cry for?
Marry was, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other, and every time putting by, mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. I was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of those coronets, and as I told you, he put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again, and he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it a third time, he put it the third time by, and still he refused it, and the rabblement houted and clapped their hands and chopped hands and threw up their sweety nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned, fell down at it. And for my own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But, soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
It is very like he hath fallen sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the Tagrag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased, and displeased them as they used to do the plays in the theatre, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me ope his doublet, and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation, if I had not taken him at his word, I might go to hell among the rogues, and so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done, or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no need to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they'd have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads, but for my own part it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too, Morellis and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images. Put to silence. Look, farewell, there was more foolery yet if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I'm promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind hold and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
And off they go. Thank you very much, guys. We're having a repeated queue afternoon today, aren't we? So I don't know if you noticed that poor old Cassius got double queued twice. I just making a note of them because Casca has to say why for that too twice. So queuing both Brutus and Cassius. So they had to deal that little moment out. And poor old Simon realized he didn't even get to say one of his lines because falling sickness is a double queue as well. Because again, that's given twice as a queue. And it queued both Brutus and Cassius. And somehow Cassius's line vanished. So one thing we learned from this, every time repeated queues or double queues come up, which is always one of my favorite things, because it changes the texture of a scene, because it's not a question of always my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. In the nice sort of polite way that we do our Shakespeares today, it's a little bit more dog eat dog. It's a little bit more, have I said that line? Do I get to say? And you don't always get to say all your lines. And sometimes you say them more than once. It's fascinating, always, well, fascinating for me, but then this is my particular obsession. So let us keep going. Right, we are sticking with Julius Caesar. And we are going to a slightly quieter scene. We have a new Brutus, and we are going to see him very thoughtful in the middle of the night in his orchard, where he is greeted by his wife. So, so we have our slightly troubled Brutus. Are you ready?
Yes.
There we are, good. And Portia, are you ready to take on your slightly silent husband?
Ready.
Good. Excellent. So we are going to go quietly into a nice warm, dark night in Rome, and we'll be in Brutus's garden directly. And as ever, as soon as I'm gone, the stage is yours.
Boy, Lucius, fast asleep. No matter. Enjoy the honey heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures, nor no fantasies which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleep so sound.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Not for yours neither. You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry waft of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humour which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it has much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I'm not well in health, that's all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humours of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offence within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from the darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself but as it were in sort or limitation? To keep
With you at meal.
To keep with your meal, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes. Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, if it be no more Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honourable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret. I grant I am woman, but with all a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife, I grant I am a woman, but with all a woman well reputed Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stranger than my sex being so fathered and so husband? Tell me your counsel. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in my thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
Well done. Thank you very much. Well done. Love that scene. Oh, I think there's a scene lurking in there, sort of. There's a whole relationship in one scene. It's wonderful. Not that I couldn't see a whole play with Portia and Brutus in, because I could. Maybe another day. Well, and that's a scene that didn't have any interruptions. Did you notice that? That one, he wrote it without any repeats, any hiccups. The others, So let's see what happens next. We've got 2 more scenes, and for this one, we are off to Denmark. So it's suitably dark and gloomy for Denmark, because we're going to the palace of Elsinore to see what's going on with the people there, because all has not been well in Elsinore for some time. The old king has died, his brother has become king, and that's fine, and he's just married his brother's widow, and that's fine, as far as we know. Hamlet, the old king's son, is not happy. He's very much mourning his father's death and various other things, and it wasn't improved when he met his father's ghost and learned that according to the ghost, his uncle, now the king, was also the murderer of his father. So poor old Hamlet is really not having a good time, but he's also having trouble with his girlfriend, Ophelia. And this has been observed by her father, the advisor Polonius, who is going to take word to the king and queen. And they're going to compare information and see if we can get to the heart of what is really troubling poor Hamlet. So can I just check, do we have our Polonius ready? There we go, I can see you there.
Yes.
Good, excellent. King Claudius.
Yes.
Yes, you're ready. And Queen?
Aye.
Yes, there we are. And do we have a Hamlet? We have a Hamlet in the wings. I can see Fergus is ready.
You do.
Excellent. I think that's everybody for this one. Great. So, right, no further ado. Take us to Elsinore. I'll see you there.
Assure you, my good liege, and I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as I have used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Ah, speak of that. That I do long to hear.
My liege, and madam, to expostulate. What majesty should be, what duty is, why, day is day, night, night, and time is time. We're nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad I call it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity it is true. A foolish figure. But farewell to it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes but cause, thus it remains, and the remainder thus perpend. I have a daughter, have whilst she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Adieu.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As a man, faithful and honourable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing? As I perceived it, I precepts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort, and he, repulsed the short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by declension into the madness whereon he now raves, and all we wail for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very likely.
Take this from me. If this be otherwise.
Oh, but look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you, both away, I'll board him presently. How does my good lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
You know me, my lord?
Excellent. Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Aye, my lord.
Then I would you were an honest man. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Friend, look to it.
What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter you read, my lord?
Slanderer, sir. For the satirical slave says here that old men have grey beards. Their faces are wrinkled. And that they have a plentiful lock of wit.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
To my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My honourable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will not willingly part with all, except my life. My life.
Very well, my lord.
Well done, guys. Thank you. Oh, Hamlet, you're so cheeky. Yes, though it be madness, indeed there is method in't. And again, another scene where we didn't have too much in the way of overlapping. So it's just another scene that is allowed to play out gently according to its story. So leaving the doom and the gloom and the misery behind, we're going to take our final scene for this afternoon, and we are going to go to Windsor, to the pleasant streets and the busy people of Windsor. And we're going to meet Mistress Page and Mistress Ford, the two merry wives of said Windsor. And these two best friends have both had rather a surprise today, because they've received letters. Okay, we've all had letters before, but these are special letters. So let us see what they have for us to finish off this afternoon. I can see Mistress Page. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. And do we have Mistress Ford?
Aye.
There we are. Excellent. Right, merry wives, take us to the merry streets of merry Windsor. I'll see you there merrily.
What? Have escaped love letters and the holiday of my beauty, and am I now a subject for them? Let me see. Ask me no reason why I love you, for though love use reason for his precision, he admits him not for his counsellor. You're not young, no more am I. Go to then, there's sympathy. You are merry, so am I. Ha ha, then there's more sympathy. You love sack, and so do I. Would you desire better sympathy? Let it suffice thee, Mistress Page, at the least, if the love of soldier can suffice, that I love thee. I will not say pity me, 'tis not a soldier-like phrase, but I say love me. By me, thine own true knight, by day or night, or any kind of light, with all his might, for thee to fight. John Falstaff? Oh, wicked, wicked world! One that is well nigh worn to pieces with age to show himself a young gallant? What an unweighed behaviour hath this Flemish drunkard picked with the devil's name out of my conversation, that he dares in this manner assay me? Why, he hath not been thrice in my company. What should I say to him? Why, I'll exhibit a bill in the Parliament for the putting down of men. How shall I be revenged on him? For revenged I will be, as sure as his guts are made of puddings.
Mistress Page! Oh, trust me, I was going to your house.
And trust me, I was coming to you. You look very ill.
Oh, nah, I'll ne'er believe that. I have to show to the contrary.
Faith, but you do in my mind.
Well, I do then. Yet I say I could show you to the contrary. Oh, Mistress Page, give me some counsel.
What's the matter, woman?
Oh, woman, if it were not for one trifling aspect, I should come to such honour.
Hang the trifle, woman. Take the honour. What is it? Dispense with trifles. What is it?
Oh. If I would but go to hell for an eternal moment or so, I could be knighted.
What, thou liest, Sir Alice Ford?
We burn daylight. Here, read, read. Perceive how I might be knighted. I think the worst of fat men. His words do no more adhere and keep place together than the 100 psalms to the tune of Greensleeves. What tempest, I trow, threw this whale with so many tons of oil in his belly ashore at Windsor? How shall I be revenged on him? I think the best way were to entertain him with hope, till the wicked fire of lust have melted him in his own grease. Did you ever hear the like?
Letter for letter. But that the name of Page and Ford differs. To thy great comfort in this mystery of ill opinions, here is the twin brother of thy letter. But let thine inherit first, for I protest mine never shall. I warrant he hath 1,000 of these letters, writ with blank space for different names. Sure more, I had rather be a giantess than lie under Mount Pelion. Well, I will find you 20 lascivious turtles ere one chase man.
Why, This is the very same. The very same hand. The very words. What doth he think of us?
Nay, I know not. It makes me almost ready to wrangle him with mine own honesty. For sure, unless he knows some strain in me that I know not myself, he would never have boarded me in this fury.
Huh. Boarding, call you it? I'll keep him above deck.
So will I. If he come under my hatches, I'll never to see again. Let's be revenged on him. Let's appoint him a meeting, give him a show of comfort in his suit.
Nay, I will consent to act any villainy against him that may not sully the chariness of our honesty. Oh, that my husband saw this letter! It would give eternal food to his jealousy.
Why, look! Where he comes! And my good man too, he's as far from jealous as I am from giving him cause, and that, I hope, is an immeasurable distance.
You are the happier woman.
Let's consult together against this greasy knight. Come hither.
And off they go, a plotting and a planning. Wonderful stuff. Thank you, Ashley. I think you've just won the hats contest for 2020. That was a spectacularly pink one. Right, let's have you all back, please, because we are now done for this Sunday afternoon, and let's give each other and ourselves a quick round of applause. Thank you all very, very much. That was most enjoyable. I hope that those of you out there have had as much fun watching as we have had doing and entertaining each other. So we are now done for today. We will be back next Sunday at 3 o'clock. And it's not scenes next week. We are back doing a whole play, and it's going to be Love's Labour's Lost, because we needed a little change from all the battles and stuff we've been doing for the last 3 months. So we're going to be a little jousting in the lists of love next week to give us all a little something lightness as the days get darker. But actually, before we go, Abby, if people wanted to watch your comedy of errors, when and where should they tune in later today?
Yes, you can find us on YouTube. If you type in Cream-Faced Loons, we come up. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as @TheLoonsTC. Part 1 is up on our YouTube channel, so you can watch part 1 again. And then tonight at 7:30 for English people. I don't know what time that is for people who are not in England, but 7:30
for your own time.
Yeah. 7:30 we've got part 2. It'll be about 30 minutes. There's just 4 of us playing about 30 characters, so there's many hats going on and a lot of wonderful confusion and far too many identical twins.
Yes, far too many twins in that play, but that's the whole joy of it. So if you need a quick top up of Shakespeare and comedy craziness, then please drop by the Cream-Faced Loons on later today and see what's going on there. Join us again next week, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Love's labours will indeed be lost, spoiler, but we will see you then. If you want to get in touch with us, then please, we are tweetable @ShakeScenery. You can leave us a message here on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. We would love to talk to you, find out what's going well for you, and if you've got any requests, because we're putting together our schedule for next year, and I've got the beginnings of a plan, but I'm always interested to hear ideas. So thank you all again to my wonderful company. Thank you, Valentina, for keeping us online, and thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Have a good week till then. Stay safe, everybody. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. Farewell, everyone. Da, da, here comes the Muppet Show. Yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, da, da. Always feel like a Muppet Show at this point. And Valentina's just going to leave us.